Hey, and welcome back to the channel. And after using the Google Pixel 8a for a couple of weeks, I think this might be the Android phone that you should probably consider skipping. Now, I'm typically not the kind of person who would say that right in the beginning of the video, but let me tell you why. Now, I know that there are phones that you can buy used or refurbished for around the same price with a much better processor or maybe even better cameras at that. But if you're in a market for something new, smaller than most flagship phones nowadays, and you love all things Google, like their cameras, and their software and all the Pixel exclusive features, the Pixel 8a might be the best Android phone that I can think of that fits in all those categories. And the fact that it's using the same processor as its more expensive siblings, like the Pixel 8 Pro right here, this phone might not seem like a bad choice at all, but keep watching. Now, since I've had the phone for, a couple of weeks now, I kind of have an idea how this holds up to the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro. And as someone who reviews a lot of flagship phones on this channel, it was definitely hard going from, the S24 Ultra or the Xiaomi 14 Ultra to Google's Pixel 8a. Now, both of those phones also cost above $1,000, while the Pixel 8a is about $500. But there's obviously a ton of differences between this phone and flagships from this year. But we're not here to compare phones, so let me give you guys a quick refresher on the Pixel 8a specs real quick. So the Google Pixel 8a is rocking the same Google Tensor G3 chip as the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8 Pro. It's also packing 8 gigs of RAM, and it comes with up to 256 gigs of storage, which is new this year, giving people options for, a higher tier storage versus just 128 gigs. Now, the back of the phone is made out of plastic, which is always a trend these last few years with the A series, and we have this beautiful green color, which looks amazing in person, but it also comes in black, porcelain, and blue. Now, if you're the type of person who loves using a case on their phone, well, channel sponsor dbrand also has you covered with their grip cases along with their new Hydro Dip skin for the Pixel 8a. And I don't know what it is about these colors, but this new cotton candy colorway is just so vibrant and looks so good in person and in video. Now, if you want to pick this up for your Pixel 8a or other compatible devices, go to dbrand.com/heymarkel. And huge shout out to dbrand for sponsoring a portion of this video. Now, up front, you're getting a 6.1-inch Full HD Plus OLED display with 120Hz refresh rate, which is new for the A series this year. So this is basically now on par with the Pixel 8 in terms of refresh rate and peak brightness at 2000 nits. Now, the difference though is that this is using Gorilla Glass 3 versus Victus on the 8, so it's kind of less durable in a way. And the actual OLED panel here is slightly different from its bigger brothers. But in terms of display quality though, the colors are still rather vibrant and accurate. The blacks are black thanks to that OLED display, but the viewing angles could be better and the bezels all around are ever so slightly thicker. Now, one thing to note though, if you do plan on picking this up, once you set up this phone, go to settings, display, and make sure that smooth display is turned on so that you get that variable 120Hz refresh rate versus just the standard 60Hz it comes with out of the box. It'll just look way better. So one of the best things about the Pixel 8a is the fact that it feels like I'm using, a more expensive phone. Since it's a Pixel device, it has pretty much all the Pixel exclusive features, like now playing on the lock screen or things like call screening, voice message transcriptions, and all the magic eraser stuff in Google Photos and on device. Now, even though this is more of an entry-level phone for Google, this is still very much a Pixel experience that I've gotten used to with, more expensive Pixel devices. Now, throughout my testing, I didn't really notice any stutters or lag when using the phone for social, playing games, or even watching videos on it. Now, I have had the phone heat up every once in a while, especially if I'm playing a game for, about an hour or so, or if I'm using the phone on a hot summer day and, using the phone extensively, this phone will get warm. But that also happens with other phones that cost twice as much as this. And I'll be honest, performance will take a hit and will throttle the phone's performance, which is something that, these Tensor chips are known for, which also happens on the more expensive 8 Pro. But when I'm just using the phone for social and watching videos, it's a really enjoyable experience, and I think you'll enjoy it too. Now, battery life is a little bit subjective here just because, how I use my phone can be a lot different, from how you use your phone. Now, like you saw in the spec sheet earlier, this packs a 4492 milliamp hour battery and can fast charge up to 18 watts wired and 7.5 watts wirelessly. Now, in the first week that I used this Pixel 8a, I was actually able to average about 6 hours of screen on time, which is plenty of battery for an everyday consumer. It's definitely not the best that I've seen on a mid-range smartphone, but I also never ran into, issues with the phone dying midday. It would always last up until about 10 to 10:30 p.m., and then I can charge the phone overnight. You can expect this phone to charge up to 80% in about an hour with a fast charger. Again, not the fastest in terms of its price. All right, now let's talk cameras. So this year with the 8A, Google decided to stick to, what it used last year in terms of camera hardware. It's using the same 64 megapixel camera with an f1.89 aperture and the 13 megapixel ultra wide camera with an f2.2 aperture. In outdoors in great lighting, the Pixel 8a is just like the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro. It can take incredible looking photos, it's sharp, it's contrasty, and has that signature Pixel look to it that we all know and love. The photos are not over-processed, nor is it too saturated, which I really like, but it does tend to brighten up images quite a bit once it gets to, more challenging lighting or less ideal lighting, which seems to be something Pixel devices like to do. And this is something that I've been noticing on Pixel devices recently. Besides that though, once you're in lower lighting conditions and once night sight kicks in, there's little to no noise and everything just looks good out of the camera. And when it comes to videos, it's really nothing special or anything to rave about. The dynamic range is good, but not great. Colors look pretty lifelike and contrasty. Now, my only real gripe here that I have with the Pixel 8a is that they still won't give us 4K 60 using both the main and ultra wide lens. For whatever reason, I can only film in 4K 60 clips using the main wide camera, which can digitally zoom up to 2x, but not go out to its ultra wide lens. If I want to film using that ultra wide lens, I have to turn down the frame rate to 4K 30 or 1080p 60, which is just really odd. And so to wrap it all up for you guys, should you skip the Pixel 8a? And honestly, I think you should. For $500, I think Google really missed the mark on pricing to spec here. I get it, it's an upgrade on all aspects from the 7a when that first launched at $500 last year, but if Google really wanted this to fly off shelves and want to give people more access to Pixel hardware and try out the beauty of AI and all the Pixel exclusive features, they could have easily priced this at $399 or $450 to be more competitive. Especially when the Pixel 8 can be bought brand new for roughly around $50 more. And with the Pixel 8, you're getting much better build quality, similar cameras in terms of focal lengths, but with bigger sensors and more features. You're getting a slightly bigger display, but also thinner bezels. So I guess for $50 more, you should buy the Pixel 8 instead. The only reason I can see why people will opt in to buy the Pixel 8a is for the more rounded off design, which does look really good, and if they're looking for a phone that's exactly 6.1 inches. Besides that though, I think the Pixel 8 is the better buy here. And I don't know if this is going to be a hit for Google and if this is going to be the last A series of phones we'll see from them. Again, I feel like if they really wanted to move this phone, they really got to lower the price tag here, because there are phones like the Nothing Phone 2a, which is $350 and performs really well. If you want to watch my video on the Nothing Phone 2a, I'll be sure to link that below in the description. And yeah, that's been it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.